You're watching TVC Breakfast. Now, the call for the creation of state police has been on the lips of many Nigerians who want Nigeria restructured. And on the other hand, there has been an outcry for a reform of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad called SAS, the Department of the Nigeria Police Force, following widespread allegations of human rights abuse.
On Monday, President Buhari received the report of the presidential panel on the reform of SAS, chaired by the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Barrister Tony Ojukwu. In the report, the panel recommended, amongst others, the creation of state and local government police and the renaming of SAS. After receiving the report, President Buhari ordered the Inspector General of Police, the Solicitor General of the Federation, and the NHRC Executive Secretary to review the recommendations within 3 months and come up with a white paper for further action by the federal government.
We expect that white paper in about 3 months. Now, security expert and former assistant director of the SSS, nicknamed DSS, is with us here in the studio, Dennis Amakri. Nice to see you.
Good morning, yes.
I hope I'm right, anyway.
You are.
Yeah, exactly. Now, nice to see you. Now, since Monday, there has been, when the news came out at first on the issue of a reform of SAS and the recommendations for the dismissal of, some SAS members and all of that, what left and couldn't change was the fact that the president has approved the creation of state police, which certainly is not even the case. The president doesn't even have the powers to just do that. Yes. But there were several recommendations. The issue of state police wasn't the first one. One was the improvement in funding, a significant improvement in funding that was recommended. The kitting and facility of the police is one other thing. Then they use the information and communication technology and gadgets for the police is another recommendation. Then state police and local government was even the last amongst all of those. But why did the state police resonate more than the others?
Because a lot of people have been really looking forward to that. Okay. The buzz has been going on where a lot of people feel that we are ripe for a state police, even local government sheriffs or whatever. It is not as people are saying right now, because it really have to go to the National Assembly, and then the law, I think it's section 214, had to be reviewed and amended before that state police could come into life. I think it's the agitation of people and the excitement of what is going to happen.
All right. Now, if we look at other areas of recommendation, which has to do with one of the recommendation, the significant improvement in funding.
Yes.
How central do you think that is?
Very, very central. Most of the things that are happening right now couldn't happen because there are no funds. The way government operates is, there is first of all the approval, and then there has to be cash backing. They have to back it up with funds.
Because there are two different things.
There's
one thing to approve,
exactly.
It's another thing to back it up with funds.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's how the civil service works. Yeah. So, but if they want to expedite this, I think as the approval has been given, the funds should be released to match it.
Yeah, but then if there has been significant improvement in funds all the while, would there be the call for state police as it is right now?
Well, I think yes, whether funds or no funds, I think the state police situation is very, very ripe now, because you see, Nigeria is a very large country. Yeah. When the police started, I think there were about 20 or 24 of them, taking care of Lagos. And then, of course, it started expanding. You have Southern Police, Northern Police, and then right now we have 36 states and the FCT. And under this situation, the police cannot govern everywhere. That's why you have ungoverned spaces in the country. And these ungoverned spaces are what the bandits and terrorists are taking advantages of, because even if you call police to certain areas, it will take them about 6 hours to respond. Yeah. So, but if you have state police, these people will cover those ungoverned spaces and then actually manage them properly.
All right, Dennis, I'd like us to create a scenario here where, in as much as we don't want to preempt what the president is going to come up with or what the white and green or black paper is going to be, but if there's going to be a state police where each of the state has its police, Yobe State has its police, Benue, Kogi, all of them, they have their state police. Each state government would like to fund its own police system the way it wants.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the issue of acquisition of ammunition, will there be some level of, I want you to talk to us about how proliferating that could be in the area of acquisition of weapons. If the state government of Borno State, for instance, want to acquire their weapons, it's different from when Akwa Ibom want to do theirs, and it's different from when Sokoto wants to do theirs.
Well, there is something they could do by coming to a central pool.
Okay.
You know, even funding. Some states might say, okay, we don't have enough money to fund our police. So the federal government could make some kind of allocation that will help the states in funding this police system. So if they don't have arms, I think it could be a central pool where all the arms are, or either manufactured in Nigeria, and I think that's something they should think about, or imported. And when they're imported, then they could, distribute it to these separate states.
All right. We hear that the police is test running a mobile app currently, which they call the Police VGS, which they want to, make it available for people to be able to report immediately what they see around, and in fact, snap pictures and any videos you have, post immediately and all of that. How will that improve the engagement between police and the community?
It's a very welcome idea. It's a very, very welcome idea where is something that we've been asking for. And the Nigeria police should start leveraging on available technology, whereby they could use apps like this to fight crime. They could use all other technologies that are available where the response time to busting a crime scene or a crime, have to be available to everybody. And for everybody to have that app in their phone, I think is going to cause things easy, make things easy for the citizens.
All right, Dennis Amakri, thank you so much for coming on the program right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're watching TVC Breakfast. The call for the creation of state police has been on the lips of many Nigerians who want Nigerian restructured. And on the other hand, there has been an outcry for a reform of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SAS, Department of the Nigerian Police Force, following widespread allegations of human rights abuse.
On Monday, President Buhari received the report of the Presidential Panel on the Reform of SAS, chaired by the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Barrister Tony Ojukwu. In the report, the panel recommended, among others, the creation of state and local government police and the renaming of SAS. After receiving the report, President Buhari ordered the Inspector General of Police, the Solicitor General of the Federation, and the NHRC Executive Secretary to review the recommendations within 3 months and come up with a white paper for further action by the federal government. Security expert Dennis Amakri joins me in the studio to talk more on this. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Yeah, good morning.
Now, when the report came, are you surprised by the recommendation made by, this panel, seeing the security situation in the country?
Well, we have to be very clear about one thing. The news has been going around that the president has allowed...
The president is here to make a decision on that, definitely.
Because he cannot...
until there is a white paper.
Until there is an amendment to the Constitution.
As well.
So, for now, yes, it's very good that at least the panel has come up with that idea. State police, local government police, I think is very necessary in this country at this time. But again, it depends on what the panel, the review panel, there's another panel to review, will come up with. That will be in the white paper itself. Yes. So we're looking forward to a very robust recommendation, which I think the president can act on.
But for some, the presidency or the president at some point was akin to the idea of restructuring. And so saying that with this recommendation, yes, he is yet to approve. Is he tinkering with the idea of restructuring?
I think this is restructuring itself. I don't know why they don't want to come out and say, okay, we are restructuring the police. But, you know, we're doing it piecemeal and fine. If it's going to be this total restructuring, let it be. Because, like I said, it should be a robust one, you know, to look around the police force itself. Because we have to look at their training. We have to look at even where they live. You know, I would recommend that policemen don't live in barracks anymore. They should live in society. So
for you, for a breakdown now, focusing on the recommendations, what would you expect to see?
Well, I want to see, like I said, I want to see serious training for the policemen, serious money spent on training and retraining of the police, learning and unlearning of the police. Of course, they should live outside the barracks to feel that what society is all about. Secluding them in barracks, I don't think it takes them away from the society. We want them to feel part of the society. And then, of course, that will enhance community policing, you know, where policing is brought to the grassroots, to everybody. State police, I think the unitary police structure should be dismantled and then, of course, allow regional police or state police to take over. That will also bring the command structure down to the populace.
Now, you talked about training and retraining, but then some would say that there has been budgets when it comes to security, and the previous budgets have not been justified. Monies, you know, being earmarked for security, nothing tangible has been seen. When you talk about training, are you sure that this can be achieved and will be achieved when we haven't been able to justify all of the monies?
First of all, I want the president to have the political will to do this, because sometimes when you hear that money has been approved for training and stuff like that, it has been approved on paper, but the real money has not come out. You know, so they are still sitting down. They are waiting for these monies to come in. That system should be short-circuited, whereby if there is money for training, you know, give it to them to train. And of course, they should not always be on the streets. They are changing the name from SARS to security. Action something. I don't think name change is the problem here. You know, it's training them to face a particular crime and solve it, not changing name or changing uniform as police like to do.
All right. Dennis Amakwe, a security expert, thank you for your time on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you very much.
All right, changing name is not the issue.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course. The point is people want to see the real action and respect for human rights and things like that, and so on. Well, we'll wait to see how things will turn out at the end of the when the white paper or green, yellow, whatever paper comes out.
Yeah, and then we'll see how the amendment comes out later.